Welcome to the We Are ND Nation podcast. I am Evan J. Thomas. With me always is Dennis Stover. We had some time off, but we are back. And guess what? We are brought to you by, and we are part of now the Old School Sports Media Network. I don't
Wow.
know how that happened because, I kind of,
That's a surprise to me. I'm shocked just like everyone else.
well,
Oh, that's cool, man.
well, yeah, because I run it. So, and you kind of helped me come up with the name for it last week. So there you go.
Yeah. What did you go with?
Old School
Old school.
Sports Media Network. So yes, we have that.
I still like Hullabaloo.
No, Hullabaloo
I
didn't.
thought that was good because it's like, what's the commotion? What's the fuss? What's all the hullabaloo? Plus,
We could have. There's a
pretty clever.
lot of names that we could have gone with. Obviously, there was one that you kind of shot down pretty quickly after I found out.
I'm happy. Yeah,
Very glad after I
I was
looked it
like,
up.
Evan, this exists for this, and I was like,
I don't want to know how you know, but that's okay. Let's just move forward with that.
I know because I'm hip with the kids.
There you go. Yeah, that's right. You are. So today's show, we're already in what is this, week 13, the college football season?
Yeah, I don't know how many. I know there's a lot of. Yeah, is there 13 weeks now?
But we're at week 13.
Okay, so what? There's
Two bye
15
weeks
weeks,
because there's two, yeah,
two bye weeks. Yeah, so
bye
it's.
weeks. So we have that. We've
I
missed the
mean,
last,
NFL is 52 weeks of the year, so
basically. We missed the last couple games, so we didn't have the Navy or the Florida State game that we covered, which were both total blowouts. Also the Virginia game. No, we did do the Navy game.
we did the Navy game. We
Yeah.
didn't do the
Virginia and Florida State, obviously. Florida State was 52-3, which was expected, and then Virginia last week was 35-14. But this
which they
week
were ahead by a lot more. I mean,
it was
that's more than.
35 nothing. And then you had a
And they left a lot. They left some points. They missed some field goals, which is
they missed two
that's a
field
little
goals and an
concerning.
extra point. But they had three guys kicking. I don't know what the deal with that.
Yeah, what happened to recruiting a kicker, man?
I mean, Jeter hit his first one, and then they brought in another guy, and then they
Well,
brought
that's
him
my
in.
biggest concern. Like moving forward is coming down to the wire if we make a playoffs, and then if we get a home game or regardless of what game we get in playoffs, if it's close and our kickers are missing like this,
Yeah,
that's not
an
good.
easy.
That's the only weak spot right now. Little chink in Notre Dame's armor because they're hitting on all cylinders right now. I mean,
They're as the kids would say, they're cooking.
yeah, it's pretty awesome. I mean, I got nothing except for those the field goal the guys kicking field goals.
Yeah, the defense right now has the most turnovers in FBS school.
Yeah,
They
and they're third, I think, in scoring defense.
third in scoring defense at 11.1 or something like that.
Man,
But holy,
with losing like four starters
yeah, losing guys on the
for
defensive line. You got
Bothello, Morrison,
Jaden
Bothello,
Mickey.
and oh god, what's
Howard
the other?
Cross was out last week, I
Oh
thought.
yeah, Howard Cross, right?
And then you lose Jaden Mickey, who
Yeah,
transferred.
to transfer.
So you got four studs that were supposed to be there and basically out the last several weeks or for the season. So yeah, it's very
Yeah,
interesting how this season is played off and the fact that they're still that solid. And that offensive line, man, if they come together
they've really come together.
with just blocking, even though they're still missing guys here and there, they're getting everybody kind of back and healthy. I mean, obviously we lost one guy at the beginning of the year for the season, but
And I'm not doing this because I'm a Swiftie, but Jeremiah Love, man,
wait, it's like that, and then you got to go.
the heart because the
No,
love, right?
and then he's like, "Bring it in, baby."
He's incredible.
Like,
What have I been saying about? I mean, I've been saying give me him for years now, for at least 2 years now,
yeah,
and
so he's a
and
junior, right?
he's Ricky Waters 2.0, man. I think he's got one more season,
Okay,
like one more where he'll come back. I mean, I don't think he's draft eligible. In other words,
yeah, you never know. Thank goodness Riley Leonard is because he's going to be gone after this
he
season.
still misses guys, which is still like kind of scratches my head.
It's
Um,
interesting how he does miss him. It's either high or it's way short.
yeah, he just doesn't miss
Gets
like
him.
he misses them bad. It's either behind them, like if they're running a post across the middle and it should be here, and he's putting it like right here, or he'll just throw it. It's like he shoots the moon sometimes. I'm like, dude, what does this guy see?
And then you got the fastballs that just miss home plate and kind of bounce right
Oh
in.
yeah,
So
it's
it's like,
yeah,
what
but
are
I
you
mean, he's
doing?
definitely improved since the loss to NIU. I mean, their offensive numbers are crazy. Their defensive numbers are great. I mean, they've been playing good special teams outside of missing field goals, but
Yeah.
block punts, block field goal. Didn't they have a return too?
Well, that's kind of what I was going to ask. The very first play of last week's game,
Ah,
very first play. I looked this up. I couldn't find anything on why,
you can't advance a fumble on a kickoff
since when? I never knew that.
since forever.
I looked it up and I couldn't find any rule anywhere that said that. So I guess I was just out of the loop or didn't see it. But man, you Google it, I couldn't find anywhere on the Google about advancing a kickoff fumble.
Yeah, yeah. It's just your ball if you recover it.
Because man, thank you for who was former Notre Dame wide receiver that
Oh, Chris Tyree.
Tyree
It was Tyree.
booted the hell out of that thing on that first kick.
Yeah,
But yeah, then obviously we scored not long right after that, but that kind of obviously worked out in our favor. We do play a pretty big game this weekend.
yeah. How fun.
We do. Somebody's going to be there too,
Yes, I'm.
or
Woo!
whichever side you're going to be on this week. I'm not sure where you're going to be, but
I'm on your
I,
right.
I know. But when I produce it, I don't know what side you're going to be on. But yes, Dennis is
I'm
actually
very
going
stoked.
to the
Yeah,
game. So
first
talk
game
about
since
that.
2013. Going to tomorrow, obviously 7 o'clock, Yankee Stadium. I got pretty good seats. Kevin and I are going, so I'll make sure to take some pictures. Maybe I'll even take a little clip and send it to Evan, and he can post it on the
Yeah.
pocket computer somehow, some way.
Got to do like a little
Um,
selfie like this and be like, "Hey, yeah, I'm at the game."
right. I'll try it. I'll try it. If he doesn't like it, then he won't post it.
Exactly.
So, but
So
I'm very excited. Very, very excited.
your first game in 11 years, huh?
Yeah, man.
Holy shit.
13 was SC. You and I went.
And the other day was the 19-year anniversary of me going to my first game that you took me to. That was November
Yeah.
19th, 2005.
Wow. That was your first Syracuse, right?
2005. Syracuse, correct.
Yeah.
So,
Nice, man.
and
Wow.
this is so obviously the last game. I was at the last game that Notre Dame played at Yankee Stadium in
Yep. Yep.
2018.
I didn't go. I was supposed to, but I didn't
You were
go.
supposed to. So I got a fun little story about that day. Dennis kind of wants to remember this. Um, it was an epic day. Obviously, going to the game, them almost shutting out Syracuse. Actually, Syracuse getting booed at the end of the game because they went for a field goal with like 30 seconds left, so they didn't have
Oh, right. I remember that.
the shutout. I mean, it was what, like 33 to nothing, and then yeah, it ended up being like 33 to 3, whatever it was. But here was my epic little story. So I drove in from Brooklyn to Yankee Stadium. I found a parking spot. It was like 20 bucks to get in. Got there early, get into the stadium, do the whole walk arounds. I'm media, so I got to be like underground and being in the dugout and up in the press box. So it was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, that's right. You did have media credentials for that
I
game.
did. Yeah, I got to shoot on the field. I got to come
So
out of
rad.
I got to come out of the dugout for the
Yeah.
game,
Wow.
which was really cool because I was standing right there and you had Brian Kelly and then you had the Syracuse coach, so you had everybody right there. But the interesting part was the after the game was over. I go back to my car to go get it to drive home. Well, the gate that it was in was all locked up. There were like two or three cars and one was mine in there. And yeah, it says there was a sign right around the corner that said the parking lots close an hour after game time. Well, I was a good 2.5 hours after game time. So this was about 10:30 at night, 10 o'clock at night. So I call the phone number that was on this one board. Guy answers the phone and I tell him, "Hey, I got my car stuck in here. Can I get it out? Is there anything I can do?" No, man. Next game that we can get it out at is in December, like 3 weeks out. So I'm starting to
I
freak.
wonder what game they were having there.
Uh,
Oh, maybe the bowl game that
yes,
they do
yes,
at
that's
Yankee
the
Stadium.
pinstripe game. That's correct.
That's
That was
hilarious.
like December, like
So I'm
it,
like, what? The Yankees aren't playing. Like, when is this gonna happen?
so I'm freaking the hell out. I go walking around the gate and I found another number for a towing company. So what I did was I called them up. Luckily, there was a dude about 5 or 10 minutes away. He's like, "Oh yeah, man, I'll come on over. I'll unlock it and I'll get your car out." And I'm like, "You got to be kidding me!"
That's
So
great.
he actually shows up. It was literally 5 to 10 minutes. He comes, he opens the gate. I get my car out. I drive up. He lets me out, and I was expecting him to kind of like shake me down for some cash. He didn't. So I actually just gave him a $20 tip for doing
There
that.
you go, man.
You know what?
You did the right thing.
This guy
See,
could have totally been like, yeah,
New
give me.
York is not big, bad, and scary like everyone would make it think it is, man. Not there's, I mean,
I mean, except for the first guy who I called.
yeah,
Yeah,
but he just told you to fuck off. He didn't really. There's nothing to be scared about.
yeah. So that was
Scary if your car was stuck.
yeah. And then obviously the next day you and I went to Times Square and did that whole thing. So my first
Yeah,
experience at Yankee Stadium was a very interesting one. Already 6 years ago, man.
yeah. God damn, that's so wild.
Crazy. I mean,
Wow, we
COVID and everything. So yeah. All right, let's get into how we're doing. Like we got the playoff bracket out. We got all this going on. It's pretty fucking
crazy the playoff bracket. I like it though. I mean,
okay.
I'm not
So
mad
I
at
was
it
gonna
at
ask
all.
you.
I think it's great. I mean, it's crazy to see four out of the five, four out of the top five being in the Big Ten.
Yeah,
Um,
and we'll
you
get
know
into
that,
that in a little bit too.
but the SEC is obviously beaten up, but Texas is three, so they're the you know highest ranked SEC team in there. Um, you know, just like November football always is, the real players, if you will, by players I mean teams, obviously show you what happened. Miami took the shit to bed. You know,
Oh yeah.
who else? Georgia lost again. They won. Obviously, they beat Tennessee, but there was because we hadn't had a show in 2 weeks, so there was a couple things that have, some things that have happened that have changed the format. But now you're talking about BYU lost, and they're throwing in Colorado now in the
Okay, so I was gonna talk about that one. That's a very interesting one because they're ranked. Where are they at on here? Colorado's at 16 on the college football rankings in the AP Top 25. So they're right on the cusp of being in. They're right behind
mm,
Texas A&M, BYU, SMU, and Boise State. I, I mean, they're 8-2, and I mean, except for the crappy loss they had in Nebraska, and I forgot what the other one was, but they're right there, and they got two of the best players in college right now.
definitely the best. I think Travis Hunter is
Travis Hunter's
that guy's got to win the Heisman.
sick.
He's unreal. I mean, I love that kind of player too. He's like the definition of a college football player. That's why, and not being the homer that I am, the bias and stuff. That's why I wanted Manti Te'o to win the Heisman, and I think he should have, just because it's like always goes to shitty quarterback. The
Yeah.
quarterback is always shit. They're always shit in it. Well, yeah. I mean, who else? Who's really doing well? Hell, I mean, even Joe Burrow and the Bengals are struggling.
Yeah, but he did well for a
Jaden
couple
Daniels is
years.
playing pretty well.
Yeah, Burrow did well for a
Excuse
couple
me.
years. Obviously, a couple injuries derailed
But
him.
nobody is like the certified. Even Trevor Lawrence, he was supposed to be the golden boy.
Actually,
Nobody's
right.
Andrew Luck, and Andrew Luck didn't win the Heisman.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you got Baker Mayfield, you got Kyron William or Kyron
Kyler Murray.
Murray. So those are some of the most recent ones, like you said, Burrow. But with Burrow though, his team's not doing well, but he's fucking going off this
He's
year.
killing it. Yeah, I don't.
So obviously being down in Cincinnati, I hear all that stuff.
Yeah,
Looking at the playoff bracket right now, you got, like you said, four of the top five teams. This must be an old one. What do I have here?
yeah. It's a what? Oregon, Ohio
Oregon
State,
one.
Texas, Penn State, Indiana.
All right, I'm trying to pull them up as I go.
Who's a? Yeah. Then us. Then Bama.
Yeah, and because we're sick, or we're
The
eight in the
ACC.
bracket.
Yeah, and BYU because that's why Notre Dame's got to get They got to get in a conference, man.
I'm there with you. I've been saying that. We both
I
have
mean,
been.
especially now with BYU, they can finish as a 12, like 10, like out of the top 10, but BYU can be seeded as a number 4 seed
Okay,
because of the conference or fifth
just
seed.
found the correct one. So we have Oregon, Texas. What is
Oh,
it?
Texas is two?
Texas is two.
What poll is that?
No, no, no,
That
no,
can't, that's got to be AP or something.
no, no. Man, when you Google shit, there's just so many crap things out there from different people. I hate that.
Yeah, well, that's the world we live in now.
Yeah, but we have a big game this weekend too. Not only just us, but we have five versus
Ohio State,
Ohio
Indiana.
State, Indiana at
Is that a
Ohio.
noon game?
That is a noon game.
I hope go Indiana, man.
I'm hoping. I actually put some
That's
money on
awesome.
Indiana to actually win straight up because
Wow, yeah.
they've been blow. They're not just winning; they're blowing teams out.
Yeah, they're doing what they should do, being in the Big Ten and the schedule because they still their schedule isn't that strong.
No, they haven't
But
played anybody really.
Notre Dame's looking now. Notre Dame's schedule is terrible too this year.
But they
That's how
have.
that loss stings so bad. We have one. I mean, yeah, we beat teams when they were ranked when we played them, sure. But what the only team that's still ranked that we what two maybe was Louisville and Texas A&M still ranked.
Yeah, and though one stat that I saw, teams that we have beaten that are bowl eligible. Look at those teams too. I think there are five of them right now that are bowl eligible, and I think we're the most out of any school.
Man, you could be bowl eligible with under
6 wins. It's 6 wins.
yeah,
Which,
you're 500.
but if we're the number one team with the most wins over bowl eligible teams, that says something right there too. That at least. But yeah, there's going to be bad
I'm
teams.
not arguing anything about Notre Dame. Hopefully they can play with the big, because could we play with Ole Miss? Could we play with Texas? Could we play with Georgia right now? I think we could. You know,
They're
Texas hasn't really played anyone either. Georgia's vulnerable. Carson Beck threw like 7 interceptions in 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, Georgia's lost to Alabama. They beat Tennessee. So it's like, you know,
Yeah. I don't. Nobody is a scary dominant team this year. Like
no.
say Georgia of a couple of years ago,
And
or
even Oregon with their win last week,
Oregon doesn't
up
scare
in,
me.
but up in
Oregon does not
Wisconsin,
scare
they
me.
won by three
They're
points.
definitely good. They're a good team, but Wisconsin should have won. There was some bad coaching. I mean,
That there was.
so yeah, and they can't. Your offense got to be able to score more than 6 points or however many they scored. But
Um,
yeah,
but
no, there's no dominant, scary team this year. I really think it's open for anybody, which is
I
kind of
also,
nice.
that
It makes
also
me
has,
feel good about ND's chances because if anything, ND's defense keeps us there with amongst anybody.
yeah. And actually, there was one play last week in the game which I thought was genius for Notre Dame, and that was the by the goal line, and kind of did a fake up the middle of the love, and then you saw Riley back up and hit the tight end right over the middle in the end,
Mm,
wide open.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, but the defenses are going to be right there trying to make sure they stop both Love and Riley.
no,
So
it's great. It's definitely helping out
utilize that.
Leonard throw the ball more. Receivers have been working harder, but again, I don't think if anything, it has nothing to do with our receivers this year. I think it's who's getting them the ball.
Correct.
I mean,
I
yeah, they've had some crucial drops. I will say that, but everybody, it can't. Oh, I don't know. I can't blame it on the receivers. I just can't. Not with babyface Nelson out there.
looking at some of the other landscape of college football, there was a big commitment flip yesterday. That was
Two.
two of them. Well, yeah, one was going to USC. That was a number two kid, and he's now going to Colorado.
Colorado.
Then number one was a Brian Kelly guy who was supposed
Yeah.
to go to LSU,
And now he's going to
who is
Michigan.
now going to Michigan, but
I
also
mean, the kid's from Michigan.
is from Michigan. He's getting a nice
So,
bag too.
huh?
Dave Portnoy apparently is putting up some money for his NIL.
I mean, that's the name of the game now. We can't,
Exactly.
it's the name of the game now. So, Michigan got him. That Is that going to help the Skunk Bears any? I doubt it.
Who knows?
Not only that, but if you look at how there's so many other Spencer Rattler, um, the dude who just left, oh, Miller Moses or Moss or whoever.
Loss.
There's so many quarterbacks that are like number one, number five, number two, depending on who and what and where. And them kids don't do a damn thing. And then they transfer. They'll transfer 4 or 5 times now. So it's kind of hard. It's like, I
Yeah, I
don't know.
mean,
We'll see how good they're going to be. I mean,
what's
it's
funny,
just,
you look back just 5, 6, 7 years ago when
yeah,
like
I don't think a number one recruit is a sure shot anymore. It doesn't seem like
no,
as it used to be. It used to be like that's the best kid. He's going to be great. And then Trevor Lawrence steps on as a freshman and he's fucking amazing. Andrew Luck steps on as a freshman. He's fucking amazing. Shit like that. Or what they should be talking about is that well, he kind of came down a little bit, but someone like that Ryan Williams on Alabama.
the wide receiver.
That kid's amazing. That's a surefire.
Hmm.
So he's ready to go out the box. It's kind of how I feel about Carr for ND. Like we finally have somebody that's this perfect Christmas Day present that's ready to go out of the box. It's been a long time.
Yeah. You ready to talk about this week's game?
Sure, man.
What are we expecting? What are you expecting?
I you know I
I've looked into it a little bit, so I
I
want
know
to.
Army's 19, and I know you know all those great things you can say, and don't disrespect the service academies, and I'm not about to, but I think it's going to be a blowout. I just think that Notre Dame is humming. I think they have a chip on their shoulder. I think they're reminded every day, every practice, every
They
hour
are.
of
They
practice,
literally are
they
reminded every
lost
day.
to NIU and they haven't proved anything. And so keep that grudge and that hunger going and punish them and put them away. And Army hasn't played anybody. I mean, they haven't, and it's great. It's great story, but I want Notre Dame to just smoke them. So that way I can, because I'm sure it'll be a little cold, and by the third quarter, Kevin and I can get out of there.
Yeah, you can you can head out. So
But I'm really excited to go, man. Wow, I can't believe I'm going to a Notre Dame game. Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, I'm happy. Some just
that's what I think. I think the defense is going to pin their ears back and expect more of the Leonard and Love show. And hell, they might even have a couple of touchdown passes and stuff. But I think it's going to be what it's been on this 7 game win streak. I mean, how great is that, too? Longest streak of, no, it's 8 games now.
8 games. You all right?
Yeah.
You want to hear the teams that Army's beaten?
Yeah. Lehigh.
Lehigh, FAU, Rice, Temple, Tulsa, UAB, East Carolina, Air Force, North Texas.
Right. It's like, and, yeah.
And I was watching some highlights of their quarterback, and he kind of looks like a smaller version of Riley Leonard, the way he plays.
Sure, probably. He's
That's
like
all.
probably like that Diego Pavia or whatever from
Yeah, so
Vanderbilt.
he's pretty good. But
Sure, of
but
course
he's
he is.
never gone up against a number 3 defense or a number 1 defense.
Exactly,
So
man. And I know they run the option.
let's see when you get your ass smacked around by Notre Dame's defense, and you
I
got
know they run the
ball.
option, but I know Freeman has been preparing for it. Um, I just, yeah, I think they're embarrassed and they're holding that to it and they're holding it every day. And they should. They should show them that every day and remind them every day that, look, you lost to this team. So you haven't done anything yet. So let's go out there and keep doing what we've been doing for 8 weeks. And I think they will. They're really focused. Um, I'd love to see them line up against anybody right now. I feel confident. There's not one team that I'd be like, oh. I mean,
No,
of course, there's some teams you don't want to face and, whatever
I would
match.
I
But,
would
but
love
there's not one team in college football this year that scares me
I
where I'd
would
be
love
like, I do not want to play like last year. I wouldn't have wanted to play Michigan. Michigan would have embarrassed us, man.
Could you imagine if we played Ohio State in the playoff at home? If they were to lose this week?
Oh, that's right. We could, yeah, it's so weird how that's going to line up. That would be fantastic to get
That
Ohio
would
State
be
at
that
home.
would be to me and then Notre Dame wins that game, you talk about a kind of, turnaround from what last year's loss was. You
That
know,
would feel so. That would be so much redemption for that loss
there's the
and
word
NIU
for me. That's what
loss
I was
and
looking for. Redemption. Thank
the
you.
Marshall loss. That would really be, especially it'd be a sweet little swan song for Freeman beating his alma mater finally. Because remember, he was beating them both games, and then he gave it away both years.
Yeah, Notre Dame
And
was winning the first game at halftime, and then last year they were with them
fuck
the whole game.
the first game in Ohio State, they were ahead in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, well, that's right, because I
Gave
knew
the
they were
third.
ahead at halftime.
So that
Yeah,
would be great. That would be really something, especially like in that atmosphere. I'd like to think they would lose the nursing home moniker that I've given them, and that place would be just electric and louder than it's ever been.
the only thing I worry with that is the price of the tickets and who would be there. So it would be really expensive, and it'll be a lot of white hairs. So
Maybe it'll be too cold for them blue hairs.
or blue hairs.
You know, it might be too cold. Yeah, let's hope for that, and then they'll just give. Yeah, I think it'd be pretty special. Yeah, Ohio State's defense is really good. They're you know,
Yeah. So
but we'll see what happens with them in Indiana. What do you think about the game? Same.
um so I'm thinking Notre Dame's going to put it on them. Like
Yeah.
come out of the gate, put it on them. And I'm not going to say run up the score because what they do is they've been doing.
No, let them run up the score, man.
No, but the way I've been seeing it is they've been bringing in their second unit when they can, but they do need to kind of run up the score. I want to see them do that. I don't give
Well,
a shit. We're in a different time and era now. You have to run it up to be able to get that eye test, as they say.
who knows what it is because people are bitching
I know.
about Indiana being where they're at and other teams where they're at. I just don't know anymore. But I'd like to think when it's all said and done, who's going to be able to bitch except the two teams that are first out?
And as I always say, by the end of the year, you only have one winner anyway.
Right. It's just,
And all
yeah,
the rest of the schools are going
there's
to be
so
like,
much hand wringing and stuff. I don't think a 3-loss SEC team should get in, but
well, it depends on what happens the next 2 weeks.
right,
Too. Also
right,
depends on what happens in the conference championships.
right.
So we'll see how this goes. And you said you had a prediction or you gave one? I forgot. I didn't.
For this game,
Yeah, for Notre Dame Army.
let's go Notre Dame 48, Army 10.
Damn, you're right there with me. I'm at 45-13 Notre Dame.
Nice. Yeah.
So we're kind of looking at the same. I could see Army getting like a late bullshit score, before halftime field goal, something that's just stupid.
Yeah.
So we have
And
a few
then
minutes left here. Anything else we want to say before we head out?
no, no, I don't think I have any. I had a couple I thought for idiots of the week, but it's
Oh,
been
yeah,
a
I didn't
week.
even think about anything with that.
Yeah, I had a couple, but I think yeah, I didn't come up with one in particular.
Well, you probably did. You just don't want to do it right now. So we're good.
Yeah, I guess not. I don't know. Yeah,
I would say
I was thinking about it all morning, but I just don't know.
I'll just keep my mouth shut on this one. I'll say it after we're done. So,
Oh, nice.
all right. So, thank you guys all for watching the We Are Indie Nation podcast, episode number 8, season number 5. We'll be back next week, hopefully after Notre Dame win. Make sure you check us out all over the social media. We are Indie Nation. We're also on YouTube as Badass Productions. That's where you can find our shows. And we're part of the Old School Sports Media Network.
Woo!
So follow us on that social media. That is also Facebook, X, and Instagram. So we're all over there. Dennis,
Oh
you
man.
have a fucking blast this weekend at your
Hey,
first
thank
game.
you.
You
I
got to
certainly
do
will.
everything that we used to
Oh,
do.
I'm going to. I still will.
The crowd's
I
gonna be
still will.
crowd's gonna be lit. So
Yeah, it should be nice. Oh yeah, we could drink actually.
yeah, that's true. Holy cow!
Yeah, I've never been able to drink at a game
At a college game. All
because
right,
I've always
Dennis.
seen them at ND Stadium.
For Dennis Stover, Evan J. Thomas. Till next week, Dennis. You got any last words?
Go Irish.
Go Irish and fuck Michigan.
Yeah, fuck the skunk bears.